Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. Doing well.
Hey,
and
look, we color coordinated.
you
got the memo.
We got
And Ryan's
yes,
on the
that's
other
right.
side. He's got gray on too.
Yeah. Hey, it's all coming
That's
together.
all right. And we got gray hair.
Yeah, you know.
But we have no hair.
But the
We
little
got-
bit he does have is gray.
That's
So,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
My grays are coming. So.
They're coming. They'll get there.
All right, I know you got a big topic that you wanted to talk about today that has changed dramatically over the past several years. Home values.
Yeah, I mean, we've all heard that, right?
Mhm.
Home prices are going crazy, affordability, which
Yeah.
we talked about a couple of years ago, that being the main topic. It's still kind of there, affordability.
Yeah.
And us old timers, well, back when I bought, when interest rates were 7%, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
But think about what you were paying price-wise for those homes
Oh
at
yeah.
that time.
How many conversations have you had recently in the past several years? Like, man, I can get $300,000 for
Yeah.
my house, but where if I sell it right now, where would I go?
Yeah, where would I go, and what am I going to pay when I get there?
Yeah.
So affordability and housing value appreciation is significant.
Mhm.
Values have actually gone up about 60% over the last few years.
Wow.
Which, easy math for Mark. I think back, and this is true. Back, a few years ago, you were paying $100,000 for a house.
Sure. Yeah.
If it went up 60%, that house is now 160.
Yeah.
That's easy math. I have to do it that way.
Right.
But, I think about it. I see these homes that used to be a starter home in Warsaw or in Kosciuszko County was 100, 120,000.
Right.
Now those starter homes are 160, 180, 190. Those are starter homes. And add to that the fact that interest rates are significantly higher. So how do we get there?
Right.
Is it important that you know the value of your home if you're an owner? If you currently own something,
Mm-hmm.
there's some good reasons that get a good idea what the value of your home is.
Yeah, because like right now, I'm just guessing. We've been in our home for quite some time.
Right.
I know the value has gone up,
Right.
but I'm just guessing on what I think the value might be, but I really don't know.
You don't, and there are automated systems. Everybody's got an app that
Yeah.
you can go out, get your home value today, right? I Watch TV, Realtor.com's got them, HomeLight's got them, Zillow's got them. What's your value? Well,
Mhm.
that's a range. Don't take that as an end all.
Yeah.
Now, if if that's good enough for you is to get in the ballpark, because remember those automated valuation models, they're looking at overall averages. They don't know down to your block, to your street, to your specific location.
Right, and that's what you always say that real
Yeah.
estate's local, and I
It
think that
is.
plays into it. Yeah.
And many times those automated valuation models will get you in the county, but they may not get you to your specific city.
Right.
I guess
Yeah.
if I'm trying to think of an analogy, that's where they're at. Now, in some cases, they can be very accurate. If there's a high volume of sales, like if you're in Fort Wayne and you've got a much larger sample size, and the houses are all very similar, built about the same time, built the same square footage, all of that stuff.
Okay.
And AVM, that's what their abbreviation is.
Okay.
They will probably be fairly close
Okay.
if there's been a large number of sales there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in our county, which we're all over the map. I mean, there's more dense population, there's less population. You got acreage, you got different sized lots. Houses are built at all different times. That AVM may get you in the county, may get you in the ballpark,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to get you to specific.
Mhm.
So what I'm talking about is if there's some good reasons to have a closer number on the value of your home.
Okay.
And one of those is if you have a mortgage on your house and you're paying PMI on that mortgage.
Yeah.
So when you bought, you didn't have 20% down and you were paying PMI on that. It would be a good idea, potentially, if valuations have gone up where they are, to get a check on the value of your house. And I'm not saying an agent can do that for you.
I see.
You're going to need to do an appraisal. But you could do that appraisal and go to your lender and
Yeah.
say, hey, I've got 80%, or 20% equity in my house. My
Yeah.
loan value is now only 80% of the value of my home. And they very well could, waive that PMI from that on.
That could save you money. And
That could save you money.
That's good money every month.
That's money that you're actually kind of burning every month. Now,
Right.
it's a necessary evil if you don't have 20%.
Yeah.
You're paying something to get that. It's mortgage insurance.
Never thought about that, but
If
that's
you
that's
can
interesting.
eliminate that mortgage insurance, you could save yourself. It depends on the value of your loan.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying if you bought a year ago, it's going to be helpful for you. But if you bought, these numbers we're looking at are saying like 5-year
Yeah.
appreciation.
Right.
If you bought 7 years ago and you're still paying PMI, it may be helpful for you to get an appraisal or at least reach out to an agent and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Can I get a market value? Let the agent do that for you, get you in the ballpark, and then get an appraisal done on your house, perhaps to waive that PMI.
Interesting.
And save yourself $100 a month.
Yeah,
So,
good.
hey, if I can save $10 a month,
Right.
now it probably well worth getting that done because again, that's for the balance of the loan.
Yeah.
Until you've paid it off.
Right.
Now, I say that it is a federal law that at 78%, so at 22% equity, just regular payments, your lender has to remove PMI. They have to notify you. Now, that was something didn't have to do before. There were some regulatory changes a long time ago that modified that to where they have to notify you and remove that PMI if that's the case.
I see. All right, very good. Well, coming up here after the break, we're going to talk more about this, talking about home values. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and we're talking about home values. You just brought up a great point about PMI. What else did you want to talk about with home values?
So, the other thing is when you get insurance on your house,
Yeah.
and I don't pretend to be an insurance agent, but I have insurance on my house, right? There's an agreed upon value, there's a rebuilding value, they've got all these different numbers. But I guess bottom line, you want to make sure that your insurance policy is in line with what you think the value of your house is.
Yeah.
For example, let's say your agreed upon value is $250,000
Okay.
and your house is destroyed, heaven forbid.
Yeah.
And they have to rebuild, and it's $400,000 to rebuild it because that's the value of your home. Bottom line, are you carrying enough insurance on your house to cover the value? Now that's between you and your agent.
Yeah.
None of us want to pay more for insurance. None of us do. I don't like
Right.
because insurance is on just like the cost of eggs, the cost of milk, the cost of
going
everything
up.
is going
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And insurances continue to go up.
Yeah, they do.
But would you rather be protected just in case if there were an event?
Peace of mind.
If something happened.
Yeah.
Are you carrying enough insurance for the value of your property?
Yeah.
Now your agent, they look at a review, you probably sit down with your agent. I know I do with mine. Once a year we look at, hey, have we got the right amount of insurance for what we've got going on? But if you haven't done that, it's always a good idea to know, hey, this is the value of my house. Do I have enough insurance to cover it? Just in case there is a significant event that impacts. Now, this is something that the next thing I want to touch on is taxes. We're constantly, oh my gosh, I'm paying too much for taxes. The rate went through the roof, because when the assessor does property taxes, they do trending. They say they look at a neighborhood. I don't pretend to be an insurance agent. I don't pretend to be a tax adjuster. I have enough knowledge about it to at least talk about it. But the fact is, if they've overassessed your property, for property taxes, meaning they've applied too high a value because they said your neighborhood went up 15%, an appraisal, or sometimes even just CMA with more current market information from an agent, you can go and you can protest your property taxes.
Yeah.
Now, what's the likelihood of winning?
Probably not.
I don't know because they don't publish those stats. But if you don't try, you don't have a shot.
Yeah.
So if you think, that, hey, my property taxes went up too much compared, my neighbor's at this and I'm at this. Why? People use it all the time with us. Well, my neighbor house sold for that. Why won't my house sell for that?
Yeah.
do the reverse on that with property taxes.
But you only have a window to do
You
that.
do have a very short window, and you'll get notice.
Yeah, you'll get that when you get that assessment.
When you
It
get
says
that
right there.
assessment comes out, you've got a time frame to do that. And so, there's nothing wrong with that. To go and say, hey, am I paying too much in the way of property taxes?
Yeah.
You don't want to go. The fear is you go and you complain, and all of a sudden, oh well, guess what? We didn't hit you for enough. We're gonna do that.
And I tell you what, so between my first house and then my current house, I live in a historic neighborhood, and my property taxes have gone up big time. Where I don't even want to think about it because it's just it's a lot.
Right. Well, over the last few years, because of housing price appreciation, the assessed values have increased dramatically, and therefore your taxes have gone up. Even if the tax rate didn't change, which in most counties it hasn't, in most cities it hasn't, they're tweaking it a little bit, but because the price is higher, your taxes have gone up. So, again, I'm trying to save every little bit I can.
Yeah.
If I think that I'm being over-assessed, there is a process to dispute that, and an appraisal is probably the most effective way, because then you've got a disinterested third party. Yes, you have to pay for that appraisal to get that, and you have to make that decision. Is it significant enough for you or not? Is it significant enough for you to spend $350 or $500 for an appraisal for your property taxes?
And aren't they talking about this stuff in Indianapolis right now? Aren't they trying to cap property taxes? Or
they're already capped. I don't know exactly what they're doing. It's got to get through the system to do that. But it just seems like they continuously go up. There's never any pullback. How does that happen? How do they continue to just rise and rise and rise and rise and rise?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I don't know, but I mean, to see the difference, and like you said, over the past 5 years, home values have gone up, and that's one reason why a lot of rents have gone up because of those property taxes.
Absolutely.
That do keep going up. So I wish we could kind of cap that one, but
it'd be nice to cap. It's not going to happen.
But I'm not.
And we can't control what happens there. But what we can do is, if we're willing to put some effort into it, we might be able to minimize what that increase is going to be for us.
So bottom line is to know your home value is it really is a good thing.
It is.
And so forth. So okay, all right, that's good. Good information. All right, Mark, your contact information.
Sure. Our website, skabowskiteam.com. Phone numbers 574-527-0660. You can always email me, mark@skabowskiteam.com. And again, I would say, if you've got any concerns or questions, you'd like to get an idea on your value, reach out to an agent, ask them to do a market analysis for you, and that'll get you in the ballpark before you end up spending $500 on an appraisal. Because remember, we're doing that market analysis. We're looking at the same data that an appraiser would. It may not be exactly the same. It's not the same as an appraisal, but it may save you spending $500 for a disappointment.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, very good information. If you'd like to continue this conversation, make sure you reach out to Mark. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.